All right, and we're live. Welcome to Tire Kickers.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess when we start off with the introductions, usually we just talk about stuff, but you and I were texting yesterday about the movie Drifters.
Yeah.
Kind of with Sung Kang. Did you know about it before I texted you?
I did.
Okay, where'd you see it?
I haven't seen it, but I've known
Where'd you hear it?
Brian Scotto's podcast, and then just on YouTube, like Larry Chen's been posting things about it,
Yeah.
and there's been like a handful of different people who talked about it. I think James Pumphrey he used to be at Donut. He now does his own thing called Speed with like an extra E in it.
Okay.
He's in the movie, and he was talking about it as well.
Yeah, it's got like a pretty stacked cast. I mean, LZ is in it as a driver. I don't know if he's like actually acting in it, but like they're from the trailer. Did you watch it?
I watched some of it.
Yeah, and he's doing tandem with Sung Kang. It's like that's pretty sick. So they got like real drivers in it.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have a car movie that isn't Fast and the Furious where Vin Diesel's hanging his arm out the window upside down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, where they're like shooting a grappling hook in
yeah,
front of a Dodge Charger.
yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be
no,
nice.
that started off as like a car culture like movie, and then just kind of turned into like a superhero franchise. So it'd be kind of nice to have like a return to like I guess normalcy, like something that's actually made by car people for car people.
Yeah, that'll be
I'm
nice.
excited for that. All right. Yeah. So Sung Kang's in it. It's about a janitor who becomes a drifter. The 86 is the hero car,
Yeah.
which like that's kind of an interesting car choice. I mean, there's been did you hear-
Initial D, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that why?
That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say Initial D made that car as famous as it. It's also
Is it
apparently
like Fast and Furious and the Skyline?
a little bit, yeah, but it's been used for drifting over in Japan forever,
That's true.
and they made a ton of them.
Yeah. I guess it's the guy, I can't remember his name, but he like the real Drift King who like started with that car because Initial D used that car because of him.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
I can't either.
It's very Japanese. Yeah, no, I'm really excited for that. But okay, so you're talking about Larry Chen. Did you ever read Speed Hunters when it was still a thing?
Yeah.
That was like if we were sitting in class because we had MacBooks in high school. If we were sitting in class board, like I would be on Speed Hunters just reading stuff. And then like a year or two ago, they stopped putting stuff out, and I guess whoever owned it, I think which is EA, killed it. And then I found this recently. Like I was trying to search to see like if Larry Chen or Dino Carbonaro, whatever his name is, like if they went off and like spun off and did their own thing, and they did. And have you heard of this? It's called turnpike.global is the website.
I haven't.
Dude, it's so cool. And so like all the if you see like Larry Chen on um because Larry Chen was Speed Hunters, right? Or am I confusing him with somebody else?
I believe he was Speed Hunters.
Okay.
And he did stuff with Hoonigan. He's done stuff with
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Okay, yeah. So I'll pull it up now. It's turnpike.global. Yeah, and it's basically kind of a rebranded version of Speed Hunters. And so they've got like two different types of articles. One is the back roads, and that's like fan submitted where like
Mhm.
it still goes through like a review process before they publish it. And then they have
I have to read that one before I go to Osaka in May.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Are you excited for that trip?
I'm very excited. I'm debating on right now what I'm going to do car wise while
Yeah.
I'm there. Part of me wants to do the Daikoku.
Yeah.
There's a service I found that will take you to the giant auto parts store.
Oh, A-Pit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they'll take you to Liberty Walk store. They'll take you to the auto parts store, and they'll take you to Daikoku in like a tricked out van. And so
that's
instead of driving, it's but I've reached out to a drift company that's at Ebisu, and they'll come to Tokyo and pick you up and spend the day out at Ebisu and then come back.
And you can like drift it.
And you can drift cars. So
Way.
I've really thought about that, and I found another experience that takes you to the Fuji Raceway.
Ooh, yeah.
But it's an AE80. It's what's the modern 86? The
Like the GT, like the Subaru BRZ from the
Yeah.
Toyota brand. Yeah. I think
um
it's just called a GT86 right now.
yeah, so it's those obviously right-hand drive. You only get like 45 minutes of lap time though. You do some lead follow. It's like an instruction day. Like
Okay.
lead follow, some classroom, and then like 30, 45 minutes of track, and then
Okay.
an hour and a half back to Tokyo. So
Yeah. Would you rather do that or the drifting?
kind of want to do the drifting.
Yeah. I don't blame you there. So wait, how far actually is Ebisu from Tokyo?
I don't know. I know how far the other raceway is. It's about an hour and a half.
That's not bad. I wonder if you can take surely you can take like a train or something and get there.
You can, but these services will just pick you up.
That's cool. Yeah, I so when I went there, I mean, you know this, but for the sake of the story and sharing it on the podcast, I'll talk about it. But when I went, I just did I rented an R34 through a company there, and then we went to Daikoku, and then we went to another one. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like this parking area that's like off the coast of Japan that kind of runs across like the channel or something like that. And it's really cool because you're just looking around, it's just water and then just a bunch of cars in a parking garage. It's like, well, that was cooler than Daikoku because the setting was way cooler. But Daikoku was cool. It definitely feels like way more like touristy now because like everybody knows about it. But still,
Yeah,
like for the experience of it of itself, because I mean, you see photos of it everywhere. It's like nationally recognized. It's like to actually go there is cool, but it's definitely like super mainstream now.
yeah,
So they do have if you wanna rent a car in Osaka, there is a company that does kinda the same thing
yeah,
in Osaka, and their car selection may be cooler than what I did.
yeah. I just applied for my international driver's permit.
Wait, what do you mean apply?
It's just it's through like AAA, but
Yeah.
it's the international driver's license.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, so I just got that. I'm waiting on it to come in.
Okay, so did you okay, I just showed up, there was one, like, 10 AAA, like, 10 minutes from my office or something, so I just went there, said "Hey, I'd like an international driver's permit." They said, "'Kay, great. Give us 30 bucks and we'll go take your photo real quick," and that was it. It's
Yeah,
so
I
easy.
just did mine online.
Yeah,
It
and they
takes
just mail it to you.
yeah, and they have like the smart thing where if you like hold the phone and it has the outline of like where it should be on your
Oh, yeah.
shoulders and all that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the way to do it. Yeah, no, I'm super excited to hear about how that trip goes for you. I'm curious what you end up doing. If you end up doing the drifting thing, I'm gonna be so jealous.
Yeah.
And you have to have I mean, you have a sim, I have a sim. You have to download Ebisu and put it on
I'm a
your
little
sim.
worried drifting right-hand drive because
Dude, that's true.
every time I drive a right-hand drive car, it's like just telling myself not to money shift it the whole time.
I had to be careful of that a couple of times when I was driving the R34 because it's not that like it was so foreign to me. Like driving a manual isn't foreign to me, but when you're doing it on the other side, like there were a few times where I would try to go from fourth to fifth, and then I would start to get into third, and as soon as I felt the RPMs jump, I'd clutch back in real quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I didn't money shift the car. The car was fine. There were people on that tour that had no business driving a manual and shouldn't have been out there, and they were fine. But it was kinda tricky, dude, and it felt like the the gearing, like, the physical feel of shifting it, like, the felt tight, like, from 1 to 2 to 3, like, I don't know, on the M3, it felt like there was plenty of, like, range and you could feel each gear very well. This felt so, like, clustered together,
Yeah.
and by the end, I was starting to get the hang of it, but I couldn't really, like, push the car, and technically you're not really supposed to, but I also didn't wanna money shift the car, so I totally understand that fear, and then trying to drift and you're doing everything on the opposite side.
Yeah. I think it'd be a fun motor skills test.
Would you swap your sim out and move everything to the other side to try to prepare for it? That
Uh,
would probably help.
I could probably do that.
Yeah,
It would take some the wires are routed a certain way right
that's
now,
true.
which it would be a pain
Yeah,
to swap it, but
yeah.
yeah.
That may that might be cheat code.
What I might do is just buy some extra cables so I can do it because it would probably take me like 10 minutes to really set it up.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. No, I'm super jealous. You're gonna have an awesome time. I'm excited to hear how that goes, but I don't know. I guess kind of full circle back to this real quick. Um, yeah, they went over and started this now, which is like when I'm bored at work and don't really have much going on, I go and read an article of this. And they've talked about like the Drifter movie on here in an article a little bit. Like Sung Kang's kind of going around and like I guess you can call it guerrilla marketing, but they're gonna like pop up meets and stuff in LA. And it seems like they're going pretty well. It's not like Keller's pop-up meets here, and then it's fun for 15 minutes, and then all the undesirables showed up and got him in trouble.
Yeah, I think, people are kinda listening because I think Larry's hosting events with him,
Yeah.
um, but, unfortunately, it seems like you're not gonna stop people from being idiots.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, this is a good point. I had written down our BMWs, the new G35s and
I
G37s.
read that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you think there's some truth to it?
a little bit.
Yeah.
The 335 platform, when it came out like, I remember when those cars were new because I was, like, getting out of high school, I think. Anyway, there were some guys locally that just had, like, tune, downpipe. It's kind of right before the whole tune and downpipe movement, and they were fast. They were faster than the M3s at the time.
Yeah.
Uh, Now you're starting to see, like, a lot of those cars are just clapped out,
Oh, yeah.
and deferred maintenance, all that stuff, and
Yeah.
also, there's one that drives the kid must go to Lipscomb or something.
Yeah.
He's young, he's got the broccoli haircut, he drives down the street, and he's got the burble pop tune, and it's clearly got a like, probably decatted,
Yeah.
and the thing just sounds like a like, post Taco Bell. It's awful, and I I think some BMWs, yeah, they're affordable, they're good if you wanna drift them. You know, there's actually, like, a decent amount of aftermarket support. Like, I know my M2 is pretty it can be pretty tail happy car. It doesn't
Yeah.
it oversteers way more than it understeers.
Yeah, I mean, but you kinda want that. That's, like, the fun way to drive a car, though. I mean, if you know what you're doing. If
It
not,
it it
it's
is
very scary.
fun. That's one reason I've kept the car staggered versus going to a square setup.
Yeah.
But I think for the track, I wanna switch to a square setup.
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's definitely a case that BMWs are now just driven by broccoli heads. I mean, the 335, the N54, the whole like E90 platform, that's so accessible now. I mean, you can buy one with probably 100,000 miles, maintenance kind of deferred on it a little bit for like I don't know, like 14 grand
Yeah, I saw
ish.
one when you told me to check out Marketplace,
Yeah.
I saw one and I was thinking about your question because 'cause I'm like, eh, modern BMWs they're all turbo cars, so it's like a very simple you could do a couple of steps and make pretty decent power,
Yeah.
right? It's like just it's a tune, it's an intake. They need intercoolers because the stock ones are plastic and the charge pipes are plastic, so
Yeah.
they pop off. Hell, mine popped off stock, like, no tune
Really.
on the track. It ruined my track day because
Yeah.
I blew the charge pipes off the car.
Huh.
Uh, but, yeah, I mean, you see, like, the 350Zs, the G37s, G35s, and people are doing the same mods to them.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's true. I mean, aren't the injectors a problem if you start making power out of the M54s? I guess the M55s too, because
And
Jake
yeah,
had to get injectors on his car,
I think they
and that was
are.
like $2,500.
Yeah, it's not cheap to do the fuel system on these cars.
Yeah,
Like, to switch that car over to run ethanol is not cheap.
yeah. I don't know if he has ethanol on his. I don't know. Um,
But the
yeah,
dollar to horsepower ratio on the N55 is not great. Like, it's a weird step up because you gotta take these, like, big leaps to make an incremental amount of power.
the N55 was a single turbo, right? Like a single twin
I
scroll or
think
something
so,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, and then the M54 is twins, but then a lot of people just end up switching it to big turbos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's like the N54 is kind of like a German 2J, in my opinion.
That's true. It sounds pretty good too. I think the B58 might be the best sounding out of like all of them.
Yeah, B58 sounds pretty
B58
decent
sounds
for a modern
really
BMW.
good. Yeah. I think it sounds better than the S58. S58 doesn't sound good to me. I don't know why. I'm not a fan.
What's in the S58? What's the S58 in?
It's the M car engine.
Oh, that's S55.
The No, the S58 is the newer one on like the G80s, I think,
Oh,
right?
I don't know the
Because the S55 was the F80s and
okay,
all that. And those
yeah.
don't sound that good either. Just I don't know why. Something about it just sounds like super like muffle. I guess it's because the turbos, but the M54's turbo too, and it sounds really good. So
You can make the F80 platform, the M4, M3, and then the M2 comp with the S55. If you do equal length exhaust,
oh yeah,
it
when it brings
really
this in
helps
the
it.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was, so I don't know if you listened to the podcast I put out last week, but we talked about Drew talked about owning, a 370Z Nismo as a V1,
Yeah.
and so, I posted, like, a clip about it on Instagram, and, the 370Z owners wept to defend that car.
It's a good car.
Drew didn't seem to think so, but I made the mistake of in the reel posting a photo of a V2 370Z, which had the Recaros, or I think it was Recaros, I don't know, but the seats were better, like, it it was just a newer version, and then Drew had owned a V1, and it was, like, cloth interior, and he was complaining about the headrest and all that stuff, and then so I posted that photo, and then everyone's just like, "What is this guy talking about?" And it's just like, well, I mean, it makes sense. Like, you attack a car, its fan base is gonna come and defend it.
Yeah, it's true, especially a popular car.
But I don't know, I mean, I've never driven a 370Z, I haven't driven a 350Z, but Drew, for whatever reason, just was not a fan of that car.
You never know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I guess you should introduce yourself and kinda I mean, how long are we gonna be here if we go through the rap sheet of all the cars that you've owned?
A while.
Okay.
I've mostly owned, like, off-road stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we'll save that one for when Kuno comes on the podcast. But
Yeah.
I don't know, briefly give us a rundown of what you own besides the M2 that's sitting in the background. Maybe I'm blocking it, but
I've got a mega cab diesel, like a 6.7 Cummins that's just a tow rig. Mostly use it for hunting and towing now. I have a '98 Lexus LX 470, which is a 100 series Land Cruiser.
couch on wheels.
It is a couch on wheels. It's probably one of my favorite daily drivers I've ever owned, except for gas mileage, but
Yeah.
it is comfortable and it's nice owning something I don't care that much about. So like if someone hits it, I'll just deal with it.
Yeah.
I also ride motorcycles. So I have two Ducatis and an MD Agusta, which is an Italian brand that's like been in and out of bankruptcy like 4 times
Really?
in the 2000s, but it's a really special bike.
Does
Like
it
it's
have, like, its own, like, cult following?
it does.
Yeah.
It's kind of the cult of like the forum for it is still really popular to give you an idea. Like,
Okay. It's still a forum, it's not, like, a Facebook group?
no, it's there's a Facebook group, but it's
Okay.
still a forum and it's active. I've met a lot of people on that forum because I go to this like once a year meetup forum,
Yeah.
and the the owner group is so niche that like I had to order something for it from Germany, and I have a friend I met through those bikes in Germany who ordered the part for me and then shipped it over
Wow.
because the guy didn't speak English. So, like we used some Google Translate, but he was like because he speaks fluent English, so he was
Yeah.
instrumental in like ordering because it's a titanium part of the rear swing arm. So like I could choose all these different color bolts and like all this stuff, and so I had to give him all the specs.
Is it, like, really hard to get parts for?
They're a little
Or is it just
annoying.
taxed?
They're a little annoying to get
Yeah.
parts for. Uh, a lot of the parts you're gonna find for them are overseas.
Okay.
There's a
It's like JDM cars. What's new?
yeah, like if you can I have friends that own these things that if they find new old stock, like something that's been sitting in the back of a dealership forever, they'll buy it and then just sit on them. I have a couple of buddies who have like parts bikes, and I have a friend who's wrecked the same bike as mine, same year,
Yeah.
same model, same everything, except for color, and I've thought about buying it from him just so I can have a parts bike. They're very reliable, but they're annoying to get parts for.
Yeah. Dang. I don't know anything about bikes, man. I wanted to get a motorcycle in college, just because
It's amazing.
they had motorcycle parking, like, on campus, and so I was just like I would be, like, walking into class, and then just someone would just pull up on a motorcycle, hop off, and then just walk in, like, with me, and they'd be in my class, and I'd just be like, "That looks like so much fun." It's so convenient too, and, like, I was gonna get one. It was like a 1976 Harley CB. Does that sound right?
That's a Honda if it's a CB.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I meant Honda. I don't know anything about bikes, clearly. It was like but it had been, like, I guess, modded into, like, a cafe racer, and I love that style. I don't know
Yeah,
why, it's just kind of a
it's a
vibe.
very popular bike for cafe
Yeah.
builds.
And it was I don't know, it was really cool, and it was like $3,300, and so me and a buddy were gonna get it and split it and just kinda cruise around Auburn. Like, I don't wanna take a bike on the interstate. I don't want like, I knowing me, I would probably hurt myself very badly.
Interstate riding sucks.
Yeah.
It's not fun on a lot like, my bikes are pretty light,
Yeah.
and the, like, crosswinds from tractor trailers suck.
Oh, I didn't even
It's
think about that.
it's and I have 2 naked bikes, so they have no fairings, and so you're just in the wind. So, like,
Wait, so what do you mean by naked bike?
a naked bike is, like, exposed frame, no body work, minimal body work, you're not tucked behind a windshield. I don't have
Gotcha.
windshields on those bikes.
Yeah.
Um, the track bike is a street bike, so the track bike is full fairing
Okay.
Ducati, which you've seen before.
Yeah.
And so the naked bikes, they're great and they're really fun on back
Yeah.
roads and they're they're wonderful, but if you get on the interstate on them, you get, like, the full burst of every wind.
Yeah.
You have
No,
nothing to hide behind, basically.
I don't want that. And it's funny because my family is so anti-motorcycle,
Yeah, so is
but
mine.
they're also huge motorcycle people. So, like, my grandfather, I mean, he's too old to really do that stuff
Yeah.
now. He probably still owns his, Harley, what's called the Golden Eagle or something like that, the big, you know what I'm talking about?
There's road glides, street glides, I don't
It
know
was something golden, I
Harleys
don't
that
know.
well.
But anyway, so he was big into all of that. My grandmother had one at one point, my dad, my uncle, like, every member of the family had a motorcycle. And then as soon as I started expressing interest in it, they're like, "No, you're gonna kill yourself." I was just like, you guys all had one. Every single one of you had one,
Yeah.
and, like, as soon as I'm telling you about it, they're like, "No, you can't, like, you're gonna die." I was like, how does that make sense?" I mean, they're probably right, but, yeah, no, I really wanted to get that motorcycle, and then, I messaged the guy about it, was, supposed to go meet him that afternoon, and then he was like, "Sorry, I just sold it." I was just like, "Okay,
Might
well,
have been a sign.
maybe that's a sign that I'm not supposed to have a motorcycle." And then by the time I finished college, had a job,
Yeah.
was making money, and I kind of was exploring the idea. I was dating a girl at the time. She was like, "If you buy a motorcycle, I will dump you." I was like, "Okay, no motorcycle."
Alright.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. So I have not opened up that chapter in my life. I probably won't. I want a drift car first. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, so you've owned a lot of bikes. You've what
I've owned, like, 4 bikes, I still have 3 of them.
Okay, so you found what you like, and then you never got rid of it.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, they're easier to collect than cars, they take up a lot less room. Insuring them is not that bad, and honestly, it is some of the most, like, it's really good type 2 fun, in my opinion,
What
which
do you
is
mean by, like, type 2?
type 2 fun would be, kind of it's, like, more difficult things to do that you find fun.
Like mountain biking?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is type 2
Okay.
fun.
Yeah. Stuff that
I
kinda gets your blood pumping a little
Yeah,
bit.
stuff to get your
Yeah.
blood pumping, but it also, like, clears your head because on a motorcycle, you can't think about anything else except for what you're doing.
That's true.
And so there's just, like, this the margin of error
You gotta
goes
lock in.
Yeah, you gotta lock in.
Yeah.
And 90 on a naked bike on a back road, allegedly,
Yeah.
feels it's like it feels amazing. Compare like, in a car, it's still quick,
Right.
but you have all these, like, elements of safety, and then when on a bike, it is just
Raw.
raw, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because none of my bikes have traction control or ABS. Well, I think the MV allegedly has ABS, it doesn't work.
Do modern bikes have ABS?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about
modern
safety
bikes have
features.
wheelie control,
Okay.
they have traction control,
Huh.
and you can set it. So, like, on a new Aprilia, you can set wheelie control, so you can, like, keep the bike from coming up off the ground,
Huh.
and they have sensors on the front suspension that can tell when it's unloaded.
I didn't realize how I mean, it makes sense. There's a ton of tech in cars now. Why wouldn't there be in bikes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's sick. Okay. Well, so what about besides the M2, what kind of sports cars have you had?
Um, the M2.
1 and 2.
I
You picked a BMW. All right, so we
yeah.
established in the first episode that this is officially a BMW podcast, so it's kind of a BMW
Well,
circle jerk, but
I bought an M car, so I'm technically what they call a Porsche guy in training as a
ooh, I
joke.
like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
I almost bought a Cayman instead of that car. I kind of
But you bought it with the intention to track it, right? I mean, because you've tracked that car.
yeah,
Yeah.
I bought it with the intention of tracking it.
Yeah, so I mean,
And
it makes sense.
I wanted something fun enough that on days I couldn't ride my motorcycles because it was, like, too cold or maybe a lot of the roads I ride, you have to be careful after it rains because there's so much gravel
Yeah.
on the road.
Or you just wanna go on a cruise with your girl.
Yeah, or you wanna take yeah, girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
But I that's why and I convinced myself I needed a back seat. That's why I got the M2 over the Cayman, and
Does the Cayman doesn't have back
no,
seats? I
Cayman
mean,
has
because I know it's like the 911 has back seats, but they're kinda, like, non-existent.
yeah,
I wonder if it's kinda the same way, but Cayman doesn't actually. It has no back seats?
no back seats.
Gotcha. I mean, the M2 kind of doesn't have back seats. I mean, it does on paper, but it's like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna fit, like, a grown man behind there.
You can.
You can?
If they're
It
under,
was
like
tight in my BMW.
if they're under
Like, you can fit kids in there.
if you're, like, 5'6", you can sit behind me.
Okay, so all the short kings, you're good in the back seat of an M2.
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, man. Okay, so there's car history. You wanna go through some marketplace stuff?
Yeah, let's do it. Because
Alright.
I can talk to a wall for like 2 hours, as you know. So
Oh gosh, do we go with I mean, is anything calling your name?
honestly, the S52 swapped uh,
The E30?
E30.
Yeah. I
So
found that yesterday. I was like, "Oh, this thing's pretty sweet."
I in this is how much these cars have gone up in value. In 2017, I was at a wedding with a friend, and somebody there knew I was into cars, and they offered me a '80s E30 shell,
Okay,
an S52,
okay,
an S14, which is the E30 M3 motor. So it came with 2 motors.
okay.
The car did not have the original engine anymore. It was a shell. It was just a rolling shell.
Just like a like E30
It was
3
just a
Series.
E30 like
Yeah,
325,
okay.
and it was $1,700. Yeah, and then at the same
Well, I mean,
time, it was
but
like,
everything's disassembled, so you'd have to
well, yeah, I was gonna have to
right?
do the whole
Yeah,
engine swap, do the wiring, get the wiring harness, but it
okay.
came with a lot of stuff, and he just wanted it out of his driveway.
But the engine alone is probably worth more
Uh,
than
the
$1,700.
S14 it came with, even though it needed to be rebuilt, like, I found out later was worth, my brother was like, "That engine's worth 6 or
And
$7,000."
you didn't pull trigger?
I had lost my job the week after I said I would buy it. So I basically was like, I don't
You
need,
gotta save your money.
yeah, and I have,
Yeah,
like, limited parking at this house, which has kept me honest and not buying, like, tons of project shit, because
yeah,
I've had to keep stuff at friends' houses, and they eventually get annoyed with you even if they have, like, 30 acres.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
I used to
understand that.
rent a shop 45 minutes from here, like a 60 by 40,
Oh, nice.
and I rented most of the shop, and I kept my rock crawler there, um, and I had a gooseneck trailer that I kept out there, and then I kept, at one point, I kept a friend's Chevelle out there. I had my brother's we had a LS swapped S13 drift car project that was out
Oh,
there.
that's cool.
There was a lot. It got old driving like 45 minutes one way just to,
Yeah,
like, work on stuff, and if you
yeah.
forgot a part,
Oh, it ruined your day.
it'd ruin your day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. Well, okay, so, I mean, we'll put it up on the screen, after I'm editing this, but
This car, back to, sorry, ADHD tangent.
no,
This
dude, you're
this
good.
car to me is amazing because it's light, it's fun.
Is it caged? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
caged.
caged.
Oh, that's
It's
sick.
light, it's fun, it's caged. It's got a full interior still.
Yeah.
It's got great stance.
It's on proxies.
It's on sticky tires.
Yep.
Also, by keeping the inline 6, you're keeping the weight how it probably was originally, because I don't know what this car was originally, if it was a 318, a four-cylinder car, but
Yeah, it doesn't say.
I would say an S52 and an E30 would be an absolute ripper on back roads, and that car would just be a joy to drive in the mountains.
Yeah.
Like, that's slow car fast.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
You
but
can use you can use all the power.
that car's fast enough to get you in trouble, but it's not, like, fast enough to get a felony,
Yeah.
you know?
They took
They seem like they took a lot of care. It's
yeah. The style, like, this body style is just, like, classic BMW, but the engines were underwhelming unless it was, like, the E30 M3, and then they put the E36 because that's the S52, right? Was the
Yeah,
E36 motor?
E36 motor.
Yeah, so they put that and this is yeah.
That
It's
thing
just
is clean, and if you look,
it's
like,
been done before, like, that's a common swap, but, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's underrated because it combines, like, 2 really good things and just makes a solid back road car.
yeah, the only thing better than this would probably be an S54 swapped one.
Yeah, and they
But, I
do
mean, I
that
love that
too.
they did all the bushings and the suspension are done.
Yep,
It's got, like, 410 gears in the rear.
they swapped it to 5 lugs.
Swapped to the 5 lugs, like, it looks to be really well done.
I don't know if these are the factory fenders or if just the fitment's that good, but,
I
like,
think the
I
fitment
just
is on
yeah,
point.
it's so, I mean, it says 151,000 miles, 606 miles. I don't know if that's on the body or the engine. It doesn't say, it just says fresh E30 with S52 engine. Um, that's gotta be the body, surely, right? I mean, if you're gonna swap a S52, you probably wouldn't put one with that high miles into it.
Yeah, and the cool thing about a S52 is it's kind of like a OEM plus,
Yeah,
because you're using an engine that has similar architecture,
yeah.
and it's from the same brand, so it's not like an LS where you're running like a T56 or a CD009
Yeah.
behind it.
It's still all
And
in the
yeah,
family.
like, and if you're, I've seen swaps where people have done this. I kind of did this once because I've had owned an engine swap vehicle, like at least one.
Okay.
Um, you have to keep a track of what parts you use. Because
Yep.
let's say you need like a water pump or a alternator or a belt or something. You have to kind of keep track of what you used because down the line you could forget. Because I've walked into parts stores before and been like, I need
Yeah.
parts from 4 different year vehicles for
That's true.
one vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even think about
That's the
that.
untalked about thing in engine swaps, I think.
You
People are
really
like,
gotta keep, like, a spreadsheet
"You
of
should keep
what's
a
what.
spreadsheet of what's what
Yeah.
because you could have like a 5.3 truck motor, but you could have like F body front end, like a F body serpentine setup, right?
Yeah.
So it could completely change the architecture of the front of the engine of like
Yeah.
how like what belt are you gonna use? What AC compressor did you use?
Yeah. I guess I guess that's a really good point. I never even thought about that. I mean, but dude, this
I love
thing's
this thing.
it's got a
This is
410 diff,
I
so
would buy this car in
I
a
bet
heartbeat.
I bet this thing could rip tires if it wanted to. With a 410 differential, it's like the gearing that low.
What I'm curious is a California car. This is something that's
Yeah.
interesting to me,
Yeah, this
and
is an LA car,
it's an
just
LA
for
car,
the record.
so
And
it's California registered if you look at the plate,
that's true.
and
How are they able to do that with the
they
swap
might have
car?
kept the emissions equipment from the S52. So that would be technically a legal engine swap. I'm curious if I think there's a few areas of California that doesn't really do testing,
Yeah.
and it's usually very rural areas, so
Yeah.
this thing wins. I'm all in on
Would you
this.
pay 21 grand for it?
I would. It's clean. It
It's
looks like it's
clean.
been repainted. I don't love a fully caged car on the street, to be honest with you. It's annoying to get in and out of, and I like a half cage, but yeah,
That's pretty cool.
this car would be a wonderful back road car.
I just feel I mean, I feel like 21.5 I mean, there's
These
def
things have gone up in value. E30s for a long time were very cheap,
yeah,
and they got clapped out. People just destroyed them.
drift cars.
Drift cars,
Yeah.
track cars, Lemons cars, they were, like, for the 24 Hours of Lemons
Oh,
racing.
yeah,
These things were the E30s were the cheat code, like, for a long time.
because they just wouldn't die.
Well, they're tough,
Yeah.
but they handle well.
Mm. Yeah, I'd say I mean, the cage is paint matched. I mean, I'd you'd have to look at the underbody and see what the rust looks like, and see if
It's
there's
a
any
Cali
rust or
car.
anything like that's true. Yeah, I mean, that
I like how they even
see how it's,
they
that's
braced
well yeah, it's
they braced the
welded.
shock towers
Yeah,
and then tied the cage into the shock towers, so
yeah,
that chassis is probably very stiff,
yeah,
like, in a great way.
yeah. I'd s I'd say there's plenty of work in this to justify 21.5.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's a sick car.
What's the next card?
Let's see, what do we have now? I wanna talk about this just for sheer what the hell factor, and, like, just because like, somebody did this just, I guess, because they could, and they're just like, "Sure, why not?" 'Cause I when are you ever gonna see another one of these again? And just for the record, we're talking about a, LS swapped BMW X3. I mean, it's saying LS, but it's a 5.3, so that's a truck,
It's
right?
LS architecture. It
Yeah.
is technically I don't believe it's an LS, it's like because 'cause they're like an LM7 maybe,
Okay.
but
Is that a 5.3 LS1? I thought the LS1 was a 5.7.
LS1 is a 5.7
Yeah.
all aluminum. There is an aluminum 5.3. They made a bunch of different variations of 5.3s. There is an aluminum one, but they're mostly I think they're cast blocks. They're a little heavier,
Gotcha.
but this thing is aw this is why people are awesome. The fact that
Yeah.
you do this swap just because you want to, not because it's like
You're not trying to resell it, and
no.
you're not I like, you this is just someone just, like, saying, like it's like they dreamed it, like, they had a dream that they were driving one of these one night and
Yeah.
woke up and was just like, "You know what? I have the means to do that. I'm gonna go do that." And this guy did it. This thing is insane. It's a let's see. Well, I don't even know what year. Okay, it started as a 2007 BMW X3 OEM manual, which is rare, but we knew. I mean, Nathaniel had an X3
That's
that was
right.
an OEM
That
manual.
I think it's cool that's a manual.
It definitely does. Oh wait, it's got a ZF 6-speed transmission. How do you make that to a 5.3? I mean, I guess.
Bell housing. So,
Okay,
like,
that can't be
the
easy.
cool
Like,
thing about some manual transmissions, not all, like, CD009, which is the 350Z transmission,
yeah,
you to, like, swap it into something behind, like, a 2J or an LS, you need to cut the bell housing off of it.
okay,
Are you familiar with what the bell housing
yeah, oh
is?
yeah.
Yeah, so you have to cut it off, and then you bolt a bell housing to it, but there's some
Huh.
manuals that have just removable bell housings, and people just make adapters.
Well, the bell housing is typically like cast iron, right?
Some of them.
Yeah, because
It's
the bell
cast.
housing on my E92 is cast iron.
Yeah, but that bell housing should have been cast in probably into the transmission.
Yeah, I believe it
Sometimes they're
was.
removable, like
Okay.
stock.
Is the
So if the
CD09 removable, or do you have to?
you have to cut the
Okay,
old one off, and then it's removable.
gotcha. Huh. So they probably did something along these lines to make it.
This wins to me. It's a LS. It's
If you wanna turn heads at a car meet just for sheer shock factor,
well,
you buy this.
also with like a 5.3, you can put a bunch of boost on them,
Yeah,
and you
oh,
can put a bunch of nitrous on
'cause they were
them.
like cast irons?
They're built really tough.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of, YouTube guys, and I might be mistaken, but I believe Engine Masters, if you ever saw that show,
Uh-uh.
it was on whoever hosted Motor Trend.
Okay,
So it's like David Freiberger and a couple guys, and they threw all the power at stock LS to see when it would actually blow up,
okay.
and it was pretty high. Like,
Yeah.
there's a guy that started a whole revolution called sloppy mechanics, and he would do these, like, really budget LS swaps and just throw all the power at them. And when you blow one up, he would just go buy another junkyard motor and swap it back in.
There was, I think I saw this somewhere, gosh, years ago. There were people that were buying, not buying, renting U-Haul trucks because I believe some of them had the 5.3 in
That's
it.
6 liters.
That was it. Okay, so I think they were stealing
They
that
were
out of.
stealing them out and putting their 4.8s and 5.3s in them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That was a real thing.
it's a real thing. It
Yeah.
really happened, quite a few times, actually. But,
I mean, it makes sense. I'm sure everything just bolts right up, and then you just reprogram the ECU, right?
yeah, well, no, you don't even need to probably reprogram it.
Wow.
It would learn. I mean, I don't know enough about that.
But
I've always
just people were doing it,
people are
and
doing
that
it.
was wild. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that. I was like, "What? There's
It's
no way."
because the U-Haul vans had what they call, like, an LQ4,
Yeah.
which was a cast 6 liter, so it's like a 383 cubic inch, roughly, and it they would hold a lot of power, and they're way torquier than the 5.3s and the
Were
4.8s.
those cast iron or
They're
aluminum?
cast,
Okay.
but
So they're kinda heavier, but you can still make
they're
it.
heavier, but they were in, like, 2,500 trucks,
Okay,
2,500 Suburbans.
gotcha,
They're they're a little bit more robust, but yeah,
gotcha. I know we keep getting off track, but
I know.
I don't care, I like these tangents. Dude, this thing is yeah, I mean, custom drive shaft, everything about this build has to be custom. I mean, this, like, the motor mounts have to be custom,
Yeah, what I'm
the different it's got
scan
a
through the
custom.
pictures real quick.
Yeah, it says it's got a custom rear subframe to fit. It's got an M6 diff. It's got the big pipes on the rear. I
I
mean,
mean, as long as it's not a hack job, but
I can't tell.
I mean, the exhaust from here looks stainless, so
Yeah.
that's cool.
Oh, well, that the interior is kind of a hack job.
Yeah, the interior looks a little rough, but
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the interior is gutted. Well,
it's
I
oh,
guess
it's
he
fully
wanted to
gutted.
do it for weight. I'm not sure, but you wouldn't track this.
I okay, so
But he's got a crossbar on the back.
I could be wrong on this, and I'm probably wrong, but I believe, like, on the Audis, like the Q3 and the Q5
Yeah.
are actually just, like, cars underneath, and then I wanna say the Q5 is a A4, like, they share the same underneath architecture.
Really?
This is I could be completely wrong on
Okay.
this, but I believe so. So this thing could share 3 series architecture. Um, I think it's cool. Like, I would drive it. I don't know that I would wanna live with it.
Yeah,
Because I've driven an LS swap BMW,
uh-huh.
and it was done really well, like, the factory gauges still worked, the
Oh, that's
AC
cool.
worked.
Yeah.
The car, when you got in it, it had stock looking exhaust on it. The only way you were able to tell is when he started it and you could hear a cam,
Yeah.
and, like, you could clearly hear it was not a 6-cylinder anymore.
This guy said he put a cam kit on it, and he said the wiring alone took over 300 hours. I'm sure.
If he integrated them, I can absolutely see that. If, like, the stock gauges work.
I wonder what
Actually, it looks like they do.
let's see.
Like, the RPM gauge
Yeah,
works. That's cool.
yeah. This is pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I just 15 grand for this though. Like, I mean, unless you just have 15 grand to kind of throw away, because that's kind of what you're doing.
a little bit.
Like, you'd have to find somebody like got a little touch of the tism to buy this from you if you sell it.
Mhm.
If you can sell it. I mean, you gotta have a little bit of tism to buy it too. But like
I'm
there's a world in which I buy this, but it's not this one because I don't have 15 grand to throw at that. But I would, if I had 15 grand to just throw at this just to like have and like just say, "Hey, look at this. I own this." Like I'd do it.
Do you know what's wild with pricing? And this is what, like, kicks me all the time is, like, that E30 I told you about. I should have bought it just to buy it.
Yeah.
There's cars I've sold over the years, like, that I sold way too early before they got cool. Like, I had a North American spec Defender 90, like a 97,
Okay.
and then I've had, like, a 1st gen removable top 4Runner. I sold them entirely too early. Now they're worth, like, double, 2, 3 times what I sold them for.
Yeah.
But in 2018 or 19, I almost bought an LS swapped E36 that is mint. I've actually driven the car, like, I'm still friends with the owner of it, and I try to buy it every 2 months. I send him a text message.
Does it feel balanced? Like, does it not feel, like, too heavy in the front?
He
You say
has
LS is
It's
it a
an
5.3
LS1.
or
It's
okay,
an
so it's a
LS1, so
5.7.
it's aluminum.
Okay, gotcha.
Uh, it felt awesome. The car dynoed 395 at the wheels, so it's a 400 horsepower E36.
Yeah, those are light cars.
It was wonderful.
Yeah,
It was enough power to feel sketchy,
yeah.
but it wasn't so much that you were just blowing the tires off the entire time.
Well, so we talked about this on the last episode a little bit, where it's like a lot of modern cars feel too fast for back roads because you just can't use all of the power. But like an E36 and like
That E30 with the S52,
yeah,
that
like
would be
that's a back road car,
yeah.
and you can push it and use everything. But did that apply to the LS swapped E36? You could still use all the power.
You could still use all the power, but
A little bit sketchy.
it was not sketchy, but I haven't been in an E36 that would hit 120 on a 2-lane that quick ever.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not confidence inspiring, it's confidence testing.
It was confidence inspiring. The car was really low and I think it needed sway bars,
Okay.
but I spent, um, like an hour in it
Okay.
with the owner and he let me drive it for an hour.
Nice.
And I still to this day try to buy it every 2 months.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
But now the problem is the car was originally listed for 15 and this was a long time ago.
Okay.
Now the car's probably worth 25 or 30.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
On the first episode, we found a E36 lightweight clone. So it had the stripes, it had some Apex wheels on it, but it had like the lightweight like carbon interior. I don't know where they got the sticker, like the stamped,
Mhm.
it was on the passenger glove compartment thing. I don't know where they got that, but they wanted 35 grand for it for an E36 lightweight clone,
E36s
which was
have gotten
that's
too
pretty
expensive.
high.
I love them. It's probably one of my favorite body styles. I like how boxy they are.
I'd buy one.
I think they're beautiful. I like the way they drive.
Yeah.
I think we don't need to go on a tangent of, like, why I love E36s, but I think they're great.
We've
They're
established this is a
overpriced.
BMW
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
so,
but
it for the record, it's not. This is just kinda where things
yeah,
go.
I like everything.
Yeah.
Eh
Okay. We'll take a look at one more, and it's gonna be I don't wanna say it just yet. It's gonna be this one because I kinda wanna segue into kinda what we were texting about, kind of the whole, like, story behind that, like
okay.
like
Yeah.
how it started, how it got ruined. Because You know a lot about it. This will be the last car that we bring up. Hopefully I don't get anybody in trouble for this, but it's a 2014 Holden Ute. Um, and the fact that these exist just in general is so cool.
I wish we got them here. Um, the El
There just
Caminos.
wasn't a market for it.
Well, we had a market for it in the 50s and 60s and early 70s. There was the El Camino, right?
Yeah,
And there was the Ranchero, which was
the Ford version.
the Ford version.
Yeah.
I love El Caminos.
Mhm.
That inner Southerner in me, like, loves them.
Yep.
These cars are awesome. I'm wondering how it's legal and what it's titled as,
Yeah.
because I've looked at a Ute before on Facebook that was titled as a GTO,
Yeah.
which is a common thing. So
Well, there was one okay, so, I mean, it's right-hand drive like, it'd be one thing if you took, like, a Chevy SS, right? Which
yeah,
is essentially what this
same
car
car.
is, same car, and then you swapped it, but that'd be tons of custom work, and I don't even know I mean, because you'd have to lengthen it. I don't even know how you do that, but
Well,
but it's the same guts.
one way of doing it, if you wanted to do it like a fully legal way, is like buy a wrecked SS and then buy a shell of one of these, like a car without the engine,
Yeah.
import it, swap it, but then you're doing a VIN swap, which is technically very illegal.
Yeah.
Uh, it's I don't know how the car's legal. I think they're awesome. I
Yeah.
mean, if you wanna go into, like, why we have the 25-year rule and how people have been skating by it for a long time, and then there was that shop in Florida I sent you.
Yep.
There's this great book called, Cult of GTR, and this guy goes into great depth of why we never got them,
Okay.
and then why all these shady importers ruined it for everybody.
I would love to talk about it.
Yeah,
L
it's
let's get into it. I do wanna kinda just, I guess, end our discussion on this one real quick,
yeah.
but it's got, let's see, it's I mean, it's titled in the US, it says 100% legal, title's in his name. 100% legal and titled in the US or I mean, I don't
So
know.
I'm wondering if there's someone bringing these in, and then they've crash tested one.
There was one that was for sale on Cars and Bids here in Nashville,
Yeah.
like a year or 2 ago, I don't know, and then Cars and Bids ended up pulling the auction because the more questions that people were commenting on the auction, and the responses that the owner came by, it did not inspire confidence for a buyer, and so the Cars and Bids ended up pulling the auction, but I'm trying to remember the conclusion of that. I think basically what they did was VIN swap it, like pull in the shell of a Ute and then swap everything over, and it basically assembled it as a parts car and then VIN swapped it, but
Well, what you would do is use
it
like
was
a
very gray area.
probably like a either a Chevy SS VIN or a GTO,
Yeah,
like from the earlier 2000s.
yeah. I mean,
These are cool.
48 grand though,
It's a lot.
and it's an automatic. I don't know if they
I
made
would
these in
hate to
manual.
insure it because it would be tough to explain what you have.
How do you explain that to insurance?
I don't know.
And who's gonna insure that? I don't know. But, I mean, we've seen some of them are here as drift cars, but that's kind of
That's legal.
yeah, because you're not
You
driving
forever,
on the
you could
road.
bring in cars and use them for there was like a show and display clause.
Right. But I
Um,
thought it had to be you had to have under like, there had the show and display clause, it had to be like a special edition because that's how some of the GTRs got here was they were
yeah,
under
and that's how the
2,500.
like the 959 came here too.
Yeah, the
What
so
and which there was also Bill Gates who
right.
famously paid a daily storage fee until they finally got those cars. Now the show and display clause was honestly campaigned by a bunch of 959 owners.
Right.
So they're the reason we have the clause is because a bunch of people bought these things and were sitting in Europe and like, I want to bring it to the US. And there's a few well-known people who like famously brought these things over and just paid storage fees on
The only good thing that lobbying has
them.
ever brought us
Yeah, well,
because they lobbied for it essentially, right?
yeah, they did
They
lobby
had
for
to
it.
have. There's a ton of money at it, and yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Let's get into it. How did the 25-year rule start?
Um,
How did it,
Cliff,
get exploited, and why who
do
really
you want
gets
like
wins?
Cliff Notes or Bentism level?
Oh gosh, let's see. We're at 50 minutes. I mean,
Cliff Notes.
sure, why not?
Well, there's other stuff that I really like on your list we could talk about too.
Dude,
Like
yeah. So if you want to talk
so.
about some more stuff, then let's.
But the 25-year rule was originally started basically by Mercedes,
Okay.
because they in the 80s, they didn't have a huge dealer network in the US, and so there was a bunch of gray market imports that were done by independent dealers. So they would buy cars and bring them over. So that's why you'll see if you ever look at like 80, I love 80s
So they
Mercedes.
were like Europe spec cars.
They were Euro spec
Okay.
cars, and these people were supposed to be making them compliant. Now, by compliant, all at that point, it was US spec bumpers, because remember, Euro bumpers were like, all, if you ever look at like 80s BMWs, Euro bumpers are pretty. They're tucked. They look a lot better. US bumpers look like shit.
Yeah.
And so they were supposed to convert the crash bumpers, and that was for pedestrians, ironically.
Huh.
So if you
Okay.
hit a pedestrian, you don't like cut their knees up with because the Euro bumpers were so tucked.
Yeah.
But Mercedes got pissed because a bunch of gray market, that's what they called gray market, were imported into the US. And so they passed this 25-year law that it had to be 25 years old to be imported. And there was a few caveats around this over the years, but that's kind of why we have the 25-year rule is Mercedes got pissed off, and the automakers lobbied to like change the rules because they were like a whole bunch of unsafe cars were in the US. And
Like people lobbying against Mercedes.
no, they were lobbying with
Okay.
Mercedes. And one of the cases they used was this guy had a gray market, I think it was an SEC, which is like my favorite Mercedes, but
Okay.
it was a 500, which they never brought to the US. They brought a 560.
Okay.
And he was drunk
Uh-oh.
and went off the road at like 110 and killed his pregnant girlfriend. And this is an actual thing. He killed his pregnant girlfriend, and they use the example saying because it was a European model, it might not have had the same crash standard and brakes as the US model, which makes almost no sense. But
So the differences were largely aesthetic, right? Not
aesthetic, a little bit
necessarily
engine.
not necessarily like crash or like safety, like because I mean
No,
it's
it's
the
the
same
same
body.
car.
Yeah.
Um, and so right after the 25-year rule, well, actually the GTR technically came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after that whole gray market thing, they shut that down, and so there's been cars that have been able to slip by here and there,
But
um,
rare, very rare.
rare, and then there was, like, the Motor X stuff,
Yeah.
which they were a shady importer, but they had brought over, a 32, they brought over 33s, they brought over 34s, and they crash tested them. So they gave
Initially.
initially, and they were supposed to get cars to compliance. They had also, like, they're famous, they screwed over a whole bunch of soldiers who bought like, people who were stationed in Japan,
Right.
they would buy cars, and then when they were stationed back in the US, they were importing them back,
Yeah.
and it's their car. And, like, Motor X screwed over it's in that book I'll give you.
Okay.
He's Motor X screwed over a bunch of people. And then there's that importer in Florida
Yeah, I
that
looked
I
at
sent
that,
you.
but I thought that would be like 10 years ago or something, and it was like 4 years ago.
No, it wasn't that long ago. So
Yeah.
there's 400 cars.
But I don't understand this because I was trying to figure it out. So it's like these were already I mean, some of them were, like, some of the Skylines and stuff
Were
were
legal,
already legal.
technically legal.
So then what are they're committing fraud in the way that they were titling them
Yes,
for the customers or to bring them in here?
there was some process with those guys that they had to be certified by a sheriff, and they had, like, a sheriff
Is that
on
a
their
Florida
payroll.
law?
I don't I honestly, I read the book a while ago, I can't
Okay,
remember everything,
okay.
but this guy goes into depth on it.
Sure.
But it's true because what really screwed over a lot of these people is, like, some of these cars were technically legal. By the time that they got busted, some
Yeah,
of these cars were legal, but they're now illegal because of the way they were brought in.
okay.
And so there's like 400, I think, cars I
Yeah, people
sent
that
you on
just
there
got screwed.
that got screwed.
But I mean, but that's kind of crazy to do that to the consumers because there's nothing illegal about the car itself. It's just the way that it was handled paperwork wise was illegal. And so then therefore they're ruining it for everybody by by just saying that the car itself is illegal and basically condemned.
Yeah, so
Because
after
there's nothing wrong
this
with the car itself.
after this happened, I had seen there were, like, R34 Skylines that were getting parted out. So these guys were like, "Pa that's the only way you can make your money back because you own an illegal car,
Yeah.
and there's nothing you could do with it,
Yeah.
except for, like, take it to the track."
But I don't understand why the government is taking it out on the consumers who didn't do anything wrong, and then I guess taking it out on the cars itself. I mean, because it's like, I mean, why can't we you've
I'm
already
gonna get a beer.
yeah, we'll pause real quick. All right, and we're back.
Alright.
Yeah, so the Florida thing.
The
Why is the government taking it out on the consumers and the cars? Because there is a resolution in which the cars are able to be retitled the correct way,
there is I think
or do they
it's
just not care?
I don't think they care. Like, car enthusiasts, we're at the lowest totem pole of everything. We're hated because of and it's getting worse, I think, because of, like, the takeover crowd
Yeah.
and the bad press that gives us, and it really sucks. Like, there's actually a case where a ton of Defender owners, so people who had imported Defenders, were gotten got all their stuff confiscated, and they actually won the court case and got it back.
Okay.
But they
So
had to
I
do it
guess if
as
you have enough money to throw at it, then
it
maybe
was a
you could
group
find it.
though, so I mean, I'm wondering if this group this is 300 I just looked at the article, it's 384 cars.
That's a ton of cars.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, and the guys who got caught did it for 6 years before they got caught, but it's I think if they went in as a group together and they're like, "Hey, as these cars hit that 25-year mark, can we go through the process and make these not paperweights?"
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I wonder what ended up happening to them. I wonder if are they just did they get crushed?
they had
Are they sitting
they're
in a warehouse
the
somewhere?
cars,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
did the people that buy them ever actually, like, take ownership of them? Did the government seize them?
I used to follow a guy who had an R34 from them,
Yeah.
and the car quickly got parted. Like, it became a shell.
That's such a I mean, I know they made a ton of R34s, but still, that's such a waste.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
that's such a bummer. Yeah, no, I hate that. I mean, those are just sitting in limbo, man. There's just nowhere I guess most of them got parted out. I guess that's they had to be because that's the only way that you could make some portion of your money back. I wonder if you could try to Montana it and then
So,
just go to another state. Because
well,
if you ever get pulled over, then you're
Florida used to
screwed.
be the loophole for imported cars.
Yeah,
'Cause people would, like
they would title S15s as, like, 240s.
yeah,
They used to be able to
there's
title anything.
which is odd because in Florida, to register a vehicle, they have to see it.
Interesting.
Um,
People just don't know anything.
yeah, like, I at one point had an engine swap vehicle that I thought about registering in Florida at my parents' house and was like my dad's like, "It's gotta come down here for you to register it here." And I was like, "I don't want a trailer down
Yeah,
there."
yeah. No,
Uh,
that makes
yeah.
sense. Jeez. Well, I'm excited to read that book
Yeah,
because
it's a good book.
I dug into that whole thing years ago. Somebody did a YouTube video on it. I can't remember that I kind of watched, and it wasn't in one ear out the other. I retained it for a little while, and eventually my brain just kind of lost that information. But it's a pretty unique story. Um,
I,
eh,
it is a unique story. We could talk about the import laws and how dumb they are.
yeah.
I like the future classics, they're classics.
Oh, dude, we didn't get to do this
And
last time.
the kick or keep, we
Yeah.
could go through them quick, but
Okay, we'll go through it. Um, I mean, what do you want to start? I'm going to start with the GT350R. I think that's going to be where. I mean,
cool, but I the GT350 had engine problems.
it's because
The
of
the
the
f
flat plane.
yeah, a bunch of them had to get warrantied. It's a cool car, it
Was it dry
sounds
sump?
I don't know.
Okay.
Um, but it's a cool car.
Yeah,
Sounded great.
yeah.
Mustang
Only in a manual.
Mustangs handle really well,
They just got
with
better.
the IRS they do, but they're actually, I've driven a solid axle Mustang that had a lot of suspension work that drove amazing,
Hmm.
but yeah,
I think these will be. I mean,
there will be
there's
a future classic. They didn't make a ton of them. There'll be
30
guys at car
3,500.
show there'll be
They
guys at car shows with the boomer boards, you know,
Yeah, like the Corvette.
the spec boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was the only one that was made in black on tan on July 4th
Yeah.
of 1999, and it's a one of one. I Those people aren't real. It's all boomers. But it's still so funny that that exists. I mean, everybody that the C8s kinda changed the game, but, like, up until the C8, everybody that owned a Corvette was like, kind of a character.
Yeah.
But the C8 reshaped the Corvette and made it, like, appeal to so many younger people.
They did a good job except for no manual, but
Yeah,
yeah,
and then they say you're not gonna get it one. Have you followed
look,
this?
I could go on a tangent of
Oh,
how
dude.
much I love Corvettes, and I think that they are one of the best for the dollar performing cars.
Oh, I
New,
agree.
especially like in the C6, I've been on track in a C5, a C6, and a C7, and I've drifted obviously in the
Nick.
C6 Nick 66. Um, they are really impressive cars
Yeah,
that unfortunately get driven on Sundays to Chili's and to Cars and Coffee,
yeah,
and they don't, um and honestly, they're the first buying demographic, not the, like, 3rd and 4th owners, which we are probably the 3rd and 4th owners of those
yeah,
cars, but the first owners started buying less manuals, which is why they didn't even try to bother.
yeah.
Um, anyway,
No, real quick though, so I don't know if you saw this. Chevy came out and said, "No, we're not doing a manual C8," and then Tremec said, "Well, we're making a,
a transaxle.
we're making a transaxle for it," and then Chevy said, "No, they're not doing that," and then Tremec is like, "No, no, like we are." So you're gonna see manual swap C8s
One
at
day.
some point.
One day.
It's not gonna be. I mean, people forget that the C8's like 6 years old now. C8's been around for a minute, but every single time you see one, you're kind of like, "Oh, hey, C8, it's pretty cool."
Yeah.
But we're gonna see manual swap C8s. What I'm really curious to find out is how those are gonna hold value-wise. Like, well, are those gonna be worth more, or are people gonna kinda stay away from them because they're manual
The
swaps?
special edition oh, a manual swap?
Yeah.
If someone will make a good kit that's, like, really
I mean,
complete.
if it's a Tremec, like
Yeah, but the problem is with, like, swap cars is, as I said earlier, like, people either do it really half-assed
yeah.
or they do it well, and, like,
I
that's
think
one
it's a
thing
case by case.
that stops me that from buying swap cars from people is, like, there's the while you're in there. It's like when you pull the engine out, you're like, you know, "Should we swap the steering rack? 'Cause it's worn?" Like, "Should we do this?" And I've owned engine swap vehicles where someone half-assed something, and then when I was in it's like, you know, 10 hours to redo their what would have taken an extra 30 minutes and maybe $200 on their end.
Right, instead they cut the corner.
Instead, they cut the corner,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really curious to see when we get a manual swap C8, uh, who's gonna be doing it? Is there gonna be some like a specific company or somebody that's gonna be doing these? Is it gonna be
There's Corvette shops
Grandpa
out
Joe
there.
and his grandson in the garage? Like, is it gonna be a
Nah,
hack job? And I guess that's really gonna dictate how much those swapped cars are gonna be worth, right? I mean, it's like you
well,
said. Um,
speaking of manual GM products, you have CTSV Blackwing listed here.
yeah, yeah,
That
that's a future class.
Oh,
It
yeah.
already is a future
I mean,
class.
have you ever looked at there was a point in my life I almost bought a manual CTSV wagon.
Yeah, those are worth a
Um,
ton now.
it's worth like
They're worth like 80
they're
grand.
double what I was looking they were like
Yeah.
40 when I was looking. They're now like 80.
Yeah, there's,
Yeah.
have you heard of RPM Garage in Dallas? They sell a bunch of modified, cars,
Yeah.
and they've got 2 right now. I think one of them maybe supercharged or cammed or something, like, it's definitely modified, and they want, like, 80 grand for it, like, I mean, but that's like a the CTS-V is already, like, such a niche, like, that's a driver's car, but then you take it and, like, make a wagon, and then that's such an even more, like, niche car and lower production, so, yeah, like, those it totally makes sense that those are, but,
I
like
think manual with it's got the LT in it. It's If I could afford to buy a CTSV Blackwing as a daily right now,
Yeah.
I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are gonna be I mean, so they only made I wrote down on here, they made 1,763 for 2022, only 770 were manual. And I don't have there's I know they're still making the Blackwing, or at least they did for 25. I couldn't find any newer data or, like, production numbers besides that 2022 stat. But, I mean, they've been making they've been making the CTS-V or CT5V or whatever. It's changed names a couple times, but it's the same thing.
Mhm.
And they've been making them for a while. The wagons are worth a ton of money now. I'm curious to see what like the newest ones will be in like 10 or 15 years, but those are definitely going to be worth some money. I mean, especially if they only made 770 that were manual in 2022, those cars by 2040 are going to be worth something. And then I guess real quick, so you say GT350R, is that a future classic or no because
Yeah,
of the engine problem?
I think it's a future classic, but I think that I'm not sure if the Rs had the same issue as the regular GT350s.
I think the difference between the 350 and the 350R were like suspension, aero. I don't think the engine was any different.
Might have revved a little higher.
It might have revved a little higher. Like I think it's tuned differently, obviously, but like I don't think there was that much other than the lower production count.
Yeah.
But I mean, a GT350R is sitting probably around like 60 to 70 right now. So I mean, at what point, like, is it just gonna kind of hover around that? Like, I don't know if I necessarily buy one as an investment. I think it's going to be a classic. Like, if you could get one for 40 right now, absolutely, because that's gonna be worth 70. But it already is 70. I don't know if that's
I
gonna
don't
be
think you
I don't
should
know if that's gonna be 100 grand or something.
I don't think you should personally buy any car you're not gonna use.
That's true.
Put miles on your cars.
Yeah.
Drive them. Like, I am notorious now because I have 3 cars and I daily drive the Land Cruiser. Like, I used to daily drive the M2. I put a ton of miles on it really quick.
Yeah.
And then now it kind of is tapered off to, like, if I wanna go to East Tennessee to drive roads or if I wanna go drive roads around here, I do it. I do about an oil change a year on it now, so
Okay.
probably about 3, 4, 5,000
Yeah.
max-ish miles,
Are
like
you still driving it?
yeah, but I don't think you should buy a car. Supercars are one thing, but
It's a Mustang.
buy a car you're gonna enjoy,
Yeah.
and if you put miles on it and it happens to hold value, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
What about the M2 comp?
I like them.
They had a big production number.
They did.
They made 30,000, but they had the S55 because that's a lot of people's beef with the M2 is the engine.
Yeah,
And
especially mine.
why?
Well, people like the sound of the N55, but the
Yours
S50
sounds really good. I
Ye
told you that when you moved it
yeah,
over.
but the S55 has got way more power
Exactly.
and more potential for power.
Exactly.
It's
You
easier to modify.
Yeah, it's you kind of have to throw a lot of money at an N55 to make big power. It's not like the N54, right? I don't know, and I don't really understand why, but it's like if you want to make more power out of an N55, you have to put more money than you would an N54. I
You
think.
yeah, you do.
Okay.
You do.
Yeah.
But I love the F87 platform. I think the M2, I'm gonna go in short, is a proper M car. It is wide body, it is short, it's pretty simple. They
Yep.
don't have a ton of
Yep.
options. Um, if you ever put an F87 next to an E46, they're like almost the same size.
Okay.
It's a they're
Jeremy Clarkson said it was his favorite M car.
It's my I mean, for a car with electronic power steering and stuff, I reprogram mine, to
Does it
have
feel more
it
analog?
feel F I put a M4 GTS steering in it,
Ooh,
which is cool. It drives a little better.
yeah.
You'll have to try it. I love the
I've never driven your car. I wanted to steal it from you while you're out of town, but I didn't ask.
it's the I like the F87 twos. I think they're going to be a future classic even though they had a high production numbers.
In general or the comps? 'Cause
The special edition comps for sure.
yeah. I mean,
Like
I
the
know they made an
CSs.
M2 CS. I mean,
Yeah.
anything CS badged is gonna be a future classic. Like, that's not even a debate.
Well,
Anything with a CS badge is gonna be worth
look
money.
at E46's and E36 price right now. They made a ton of those cars and
Mhm.
they're
Everybody's swapping the SMGs to a manual too,
yeah,
which is
people are
awesome.
buying SMGs, swapping to manuals. You're seeing like they're pulling mid-20s on really good
Yeah.
E46s, even higher depending on if it's a low mileage count car.
Yeah, I wonder what Tyler got for his because he bought the M4 and then sold his
I really like
E46.
Tyler's car. It had like this CSL style trunk
Yeah, and then
Um,
he had, like, camber plates on the front too.
yeah,
It
the
was just
red
really
red
good sedan,
interior, it was
yeah.
a cool car.
It was a cool car. Um, I mean oh, this one, I wanna talk about this, the 996 and the 997 911 because it was the last one with high it was the last kind of, like, analog
I love
Porsche.
them. I almost bought a 997 C2S.
Okay.
I was hunting for one in my price range when I bought them too. I found a couple, they were a little higher mileage than I wanted.
Yeah,
I wish I had just bit the bullet and bought them
yeah.
because now they're worth so much. Like, I like 996s. The runny egg headlight is an acquired taste,
Yeah, the hockey puck or whatever
but
they call
I
it.
have a friend, local friend with a C4S 996 is beautiful. Like, big, it's wide because the C4S is a turbo body, but it doesn't have a wing.
Okay.
So it's a big wide body car with no wing. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fan.
They make kits where you can swap a 996 to the 997 front end. And I would do that, honestly, but I if I couldn't buy a 997 for whatever reason, but I think those you're already starting to see them increase in value. It
They're
hasn't it's not like the air cooled where all of a sudden those became 100 grand overnight, or like 200 grand if you had a turbo or something like that. I mean, that's still kind of on the
that
higher end, but
they're
like some turbos are like
they're rising.
150.
They're absolutely,
Yeah.
um
My dad had, this is gonna make I don't care, I'm probably gonna get hate for this, but I learned how to drive stick on a 997 Carrera S,
cool.
and that was awesome. And
That's a great car.
it also scared the hell out of me because my dad's, like, in the passenger seat, he's like, "No, you have to do this, and you have to do that," and I'm like, I don't wanna mess up, like, your like, this it was his dream car, essentially. I was like, I don't wanna mess up your dream car," so I was, like, kind of scared to do it, and I still did it, but, it was intimidating, but that was a good car. I wish he still had it, and, maybe he'll get another one day.
It's probably worth double what he sold it for.
Well, he actually crashed it, so
Oh,
yeah, dad,
wow.
if you're listening, sorry, but it wasn't even that bad. It was just it's like I mean, a lot of German cars are so easy to total. Like the yeah, like I was reading somewhere that like you would total and they would total an E90 M3 if it just uh like the I can't remember. It's something to do with like the some of the mounts for something on the front, like if those got not the frame, but if something on that got bent, they
Well, it's a unibody car,
yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're gonna see these, increase in value. I mean, we already are. I don't know if it's gonna quite hit, like, the same, like, caliber as the air
Well,
cooleds, but
996s, so 997s have, like, ramped up. The G as you see the GT3s, which, by the
yeah,
way, the 997 production numbers, if you look at them, like, for GT3s and the RSs are super low,
yeah,
and the 996 GT3s. So right now you're seeing this, they're like, my uncle was looking at 911s about a year ago, and I told him, I was like, "If you wanna park money, go buy a 997.1 GT3," and at the time, we found him one for, like, 130, okay?
the same ones that are worth, like, 400 now?
No, no, no,
Okay,
they're now worth, like, 150 or more, but
okay,
he would have been able to he eventually got tired of the low coupe setup, but they're amazing.
yeah,
I'm a fan of both of them, and 996s are trailing behind 997s right now.
yeah.
They're increasing.
Okay. Do you any other one? I may save a few of these for next time, but, is
Now,
there anything else that's calling your name, or do you wanna
cloud or
switch
culture is
Yeah.
interesting. I could go on air suspension.
Yeah? Okay. Alright, now we're moving on to cloud or culture. So, welcome to cloud or culture. And the first one that we're gonna talk about is air suspension, cars. So, I mean, it does have deep roots in the car scene, like, stance is kind of a totally different thing
It's
because those
huge
are
in the truck
those
scene.
Yeah.
Bags are massive in the truck scene.
Yeah, the any level,
No, we're
changed the
talking,
game.
like, two-wheel drive trucks, like
Oh, really?
the mini
Okay.
truck scene, and older trucks, and just there's been an entire culture around bag trucks for a long time.
Okay, so you're taking it from, like, the truck angle. I didn't even
I
think about that.
I take it as, okay, bags are like engine swaps. A lot of people don't do it right.
Okay.
They do it, like, half-assed, they just run, like, crappy airlines,
Yeah.
they're notorious, like, bag cars are notorious for having, like, leaks on bag systems. Um,
Well, they also handle a lot worse after that too, like,
some
you can't really have a bad car and then also rip it on back roads and, like, have
some
it feel good.
you could possibly do that. It won't be like coilovers, but
Yeah.
you can make bags ride nice. It takes It takes some work.
I don't think it's worth the effort. I wouldn't do it. I don't understand. I mean, like, I understand, like, the photogenics of it, like, if you're at a meet and stuff, but, like, I think it started off as culture and now it's shifted into clout.
A little bit. It's been a long I as a kid absorbed like almost every aspect of car culture except for I was not into European cars weirdly till I got it as an
Interesting.
adult. I was really into bag trucks. I was really into like custom trucks. I've owned a 53 Chevy on a aftermarket frame. The thing was
Nice.
on coilovers, but it was a full resto mod truck. Um, I like lowered vehicles a lot. I also love lifted vehicles, obviously, but if it's done right, like there's now for the truck scene at least, you can buy fully aftermarket frames for your 1977 C10
Huh.
and drop your body on like your original body on on a brand new frame that's fully set up for bags. So like, and the truck will ride uber low. We're talking
Yeah.
4 inches off the ground, 3 inches off the ground, and be comfortable. And now there's bag kits out there that run sensors at each wheel, and so
Mhm.
it'll know if one side's off. So, like,
Huh.
you don't have to manually adjust, the car will
But how
there's
much money do you have to sink into it?
you have to spend a little bit more money.
Right, exactly, and then now I feel like the cars that you see on bags, I mean, I can't speak for trucks, but I feel like a lot of the cars that you see on bags now are hack jobs, and then they're done just for aesthetics or for, like, Instagram clout.
I have 2 builds in my mind I really wanna do, and one of them's a W126 Mercedes, which is an '80s S-Class coupe.
Okay,
They're called the SECs.
okay.
People make direct bolt-in, like, replace the factory coil setup with bags. Um, they're a little more difficult to bag than, like, say, like a Lexus LS 400, like a
Sure.
VIP style car.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to do that build. It's something that I've gotta get out of my system at one point. I need to bag something.
yeah.
But also the Sharknose 6 Series from the '80s
Oh,
looks
yeah, that's so
amazing
cool.
bagged. I would love to build one of those bags too.
Yeah.
Um, I
I
don't know.
guess if you're yeah, I'd say it's still culture if you're doing it to, like, older cars, but if you're taking, like, the new Supra or something and putting it on bags, I don't understand it. But, like, old
It's a show
cars,
car thing.
yeah, it's I guess it's
The show car thing is coming back. We have, like, all these big meets, like, there's Import Alliance,
yeah,
and there's, shout out to Don, and there is all these other meets now that I feel like there's that meet in, Helen, Georgia.
yeah.
Uh,
The VAG meet,
yeah, like, the bags have always been big in the Volkswagen community, I think.
yeah.
So,
Still culture?
I think it's still culture. I like it, but I'm biased.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I'm not a show car guy. Like, I want a car I can drive, but, I mean,
I agree.
you have a certain amount of if you have a certain amount of money, then I can understand the making a show car out of it. But again, I just want something I can drive and have fun on, and I just don't understand that with bad cars. I mean, then again, I haven't really been in many, but I just feel like now so many of them are just not done well, and now it just feels like clout. But I guess it does have deep roots in culture. So are we ruling it as still culture?
For me, it's culture. You
Okay.
can say whatever you want.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence, man. I You make a pretty good case for it, so I'll roll with
If
culture
you
for
do it
now.
right,
Yeah.
like, there's the truck community has always had kits to do it right, like, they redo the suspension geometry,
Yeah.
like, they redo all the angles of the control arm, so, yeah, you can just throw a set of bags on the front of, like, a Chevy truck and get it really low, but when you're fully bagged out, that's when you see the cambers at, like, -10.
Yeah.
Um, now people are taking it, redoing everything, so, like, when you're slammed, it's got proper so you can drive the truck at, like, one of the lowest settings, and
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It's still culture.
It's culture for me.
Okay, I want to move to maybe we can go back to clatter culture, but I want to move to kick or keep real quick, and
Go.
I want to talk about this one. Have you seen this car?
What is it?
The Hyundai Envision 74. I'm about to pull it up real quick. Hyundai Envision 74. Dude, this thing, I'm not an EV guy, but this thing is sweet.
That car's really sick.
Yeah, it's like it's straight out of the 80s.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
I think they actually plan to, like, make a production car out of this, but, I mean, that's so cool. I think it's, like, 650 horsepower, it's an EV, and I think they're giving it, like, an EV manual. so it's like a simulated manual. But I don't like the sheer if they put a gas engine in this, gosh, that'd be so cool, but just the sheer aesthetics of this is so sweet.
It's very cool.
It's such a cool car.
If
But a lot of people hate EVs and especially, like, car guys, like, I mean, I understand the practicality of having one as, like, a daily or something, like, an around town car, but, like, a
I
lot of
have
the
a
car
lot of
guys hate
I have a lot
EVs.
of friends that have multiple cars,
Yeah.
but they'll have, like, 1 EV, um, and they tend to like them. But I think if they actually make this car, it'll be cool.
I don't know what the cost is supposed to be, I don't know how many they plan to make,
I say
but
keep.
keep 100%, and this is probably one of the few EVs that I would
Yeah.
justify keeping. That's such a cool car. I wanna do some more homework on it, but, I mean, aesthetics alone, that thing is so cool. It looks like very, like, cyberpunk, like, kinda era, I don't know, I don't even know. That's a really sick.
Alright, so what else on kick or keep do you wanna talk about?
Oh boy.
Hood dumps.
Hood
I
dumps?
have
You wanna talk about
strong
hood dumps?
opinions on
Okay, we
hood
can talk about
dumps.
hood dumps.
I I was into diesel trucks for a long time,
Yep.
like performance. My last Dodge had like it hit 55 pounds of boost on the street on a single,
Holy cow.
and it was just a 62, it wasn't a huge turbo. Um,
That's a big turbo, a
it's not
62?
not on a diesel. Like
Okay.
people are diesels run like S400s, they're running big turbos. The one thing if I was gonna keep that truck long term, I would have done compounds, so a smaller turbo and a bigger turbo,
Okay.
feeding each other. But there was a lot of guys in the diesel world who would build drag trucks or performance diesels, and they would
Sure.
run hood stacks, which is you're just blowing black soot directly on. I was never a fan of it.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's cool for like the wastegate
Yeah.
to have like maybe come through the hood. I saw Hurt has a FD Arc 7 and he has a hood dump wastegate, but it's got a normal exhaust at the back.
Yeah.
It is Have you ever driven in a car with a hood exhaust?
No.
It's loud. Like even with a turbo, it is to me
Because all that turbo noise is just right in front of you, right? Like,
yeah, like
it's even more, like, pronounced than, like, a regular turbo, right?
and I've lost a lot of hearing over the years from hunting and
Yeah.
motorcycles, so, like, I wear earplugs now when I ride bikes. I never
Makes
did when
sense.
I first started. Uh, I'm not a fan of hood dumps. I think if you can
Did the diesel truck start it? Is that what kinda started it?
maybe,
Okay.
uh, I I think, like, if you can now there if you have, like, an engine swap and it's in a tight quarters and you can't get a downpipe off your turbo to go underneath the car, that's one thing, but it's loud, and now, we have a ton of tracks that have decibel
Yeah,
limits.
yeah.
So
Laguna Seca
well,
has it.
there's way more. NCM, like, up in Bowling
Yeah,
Green
wearing the shirt. Yeah.
it's like, 100 and I know my car passes there, but I've had friends that just got black flagged.
Hell, my M3 probably wouldn't have passed
Um,
with the valves open.
yeah, so I'm not a fan of hood dumps. What about you? I say kick.
You say kick? I think I didn't even think about it. You're even with the last one, I didn't even think about the whole truck angle to it. I don't know, man. I and it's funny because 'cause I'm the one that's, like, bringing up these
I have a
topics,
friend
and I
with a
really have a
1,000
strong opinion on them.
horsepower a 1,000 horsepower Duramax, and it is a drag truck,
Yeah,
and it's really clean.
and it's got a hood down.
It had a hood dump,
Okay.
and he just redid his turbo setup and brought it underneath the truck and put a traditional exhaust back on the truck. Not a stack in the bed,
Yeah,
like, it's had a stack in the bed. Um, it's now got just a traditional exhaust out the back of it, and it looks so much cooler.
yeah,
It's way more of a sleeper. Um, he can actually street drive the truck. I mean, the truck's like it's a drag truck.
yeah.
It's four-wheel drive, so he runs slicks front and rear.
Oh, wow.
Um, it I think the truck is the cage in it is like certified to 8, but he's running like low 10s, high 9s at the moment. Uh,
That's fast for a truck.
it's a fast truck, but it's still like 6,000 something pounds, even though it's fully
Yeah,
gutted. Uh,
that's heavy.
it's a heavy truck,
Yeah.
but it's a four-door short bed diesel.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I say kick 'em.
Yeah, I say kick him. I think it makes sense in the drag context, but like if I mean, I'll still see a street car at a meet every once in a while that has a hood dump, and there's just no purpose behind it whatsoever, than other than just like they wanted to do it, so they did it.
Do you know how annoying hood dumps are? Like, you have to cover it when you park the car if it's gonna rain.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, you can fit your whole fist down in it or more.
Really big right now in, like, drag racing is the fender exit exhaust.
Those are cool
Yeah, yes and
when
no.
done well.
When done well, but
I'd keep those and kick this.
I just yeah, I kick a hood dump.
All right, hood dumps are gone. You're never gonna see another hood dump again.
People are gonna I'm gonna
We
get
made it we
roasted
made
for
it
this,
law.
but
No,
yeah.
I don't care. It's we're here to stir up some dust,
Okay.
piss off some people. That's how we get views. All right, man. I'm in shit. We've been going for almost an hour and a half.
Yeah.
You got something you wanna end it on?
No.
All right. Let's see. Oh, man, I mean, we could just keep going.
Yeah.
I may recycle some of these for another one. Yeah, I mean, we talked about some pretty important stuff. I'm glad we got to go into the future classic stuff because we didn't get into that last time, and, I'm looking forward to getting into that one again because there's some more models that I wanna talk about, but we can end it there, man. Good
Okay.
stuff. Alright, catch us at the next one. We'll see ya.